Hey, welcome. I want you to put on your architect hat for a minute. Imagine you're at the helm of a company that's growing like crazy. You've got services running across different clouds, and data isn't just flowing anymore, it's getting jammed up. Today, we're going to tackle one of the biggest headaches in modern tech, how to build the data highways that connect your entire platform.
So let me ask you something. Does your platform ever feel sluggish? Like your data is stuck in a massive digital traffic jam? As your company expands and you're running services in AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, you can end up with this tangled web of connections that just slows everything down. It's a super common problem, and it's exactly what we're here to figure out.
Okay, so you're in the driver's seat. You're the architect, and you have to design the system that lets all your different services talk to each other, smoothly and efficiently. And your main dilemma really boils down to this. Do you build one gigantic central data hub for absolutely everything, or do you create a bunch of smaller, more specialized hubs? Let's break down these two philosophies. On one side, you have what we'll call the Grand Central model. Yeah, think of it just like New York's Grand Central Station, one massive unified terminal where every single train line connects. It's simple, in theory, and everything is in one place. But on the other side, you've got the neighborhood hub model. This is more like a city's sprawling subway system, with lots of different local stations that are super efficient for their own area. This approach is all about agility and scaling big. Two very different ways to solve the same problem.
All right, let's dig into that first philosophy, the Grand Central model. The whole idea here is to build one single magnificent event bus that handles every single piece of data from all your services, no matter what cloud they happen to call home.
You know, on paper, it sounds fantastic, right? Every event, a new user signing up, a product getting ordered, you name it. It all passes through this one central station. This gives you a single point of control, a single place to look. But what happens at 5 p.m. on a Friday? What happens when rush hour hits? This magnificent hub can very quickly become one magnificent bottleneck.
And look, the appeal here is totally understandable. It's all about simplicity. With everything flowing through one place, you get centralized governance and security, one set of rules, one place to enforce them. Monitoring is way easier because you've only got one dashboard to watch. If you're starting a new project, this is often the fastest way to get up and running. And critically, you establish a single source of truth for everything happening across your platform.
But, and this is a huge but, the risks are pretty serious. That central hub can become a major performance choke point, slowing down your entire system when you need it most. It's also a massive single point of failure. If it goes down, communication across your entire platform just stops. Dead. As your company grows, you'll have different teams fighting for resources on this one bus, creating development traffic jams. And ultimately, this model can really limit your ability to scale.
Okay, so if the Grand Central model is a recipe for a massive system-wide traffic jam, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to our second philosophy, the neighborhood hub model, or what you might call a federation of buses.
So instead of that one giant station, you create multiple smaller event buses. Each one is dedicated to a specific part of your business, a domain. So you might have one for user accounts, another for processing orders, and a third for managing inventory. These are your autonomous little neighborhood hubs. They are incredibly efficient for their local traffic, but as you can guess, you're going to need a really good map. A clear, well-thought-out strategy for how these different hubs are going to talk to each other.
Now, the upsides here, especially for bigger companies, are just massive. You get incredible scalability because you're not bottlenecked by one single choke point. This model gives your teams real autonomy. The orders team can move fast and innovate without waiting on the inventory team. And maybe the most important benefit is resilience. If the inventory hub has a problem, the rest of the system, like new user signups, just keeps on running. Failures are contained within their own neighborhood.
But of course, nothing comes for free, right? You're trading that initial simplicity for long-term power and scale. Managing all these different buses definitely adds operational complexity. You have to be super careful you don't accidentally create data silos, where the orders team has information the shipping team desperately needs but can't get to. Global rules are harder to enforce. And that map we talked about, the design for how buses talk to each other, that becomes absolutely critical. It needs some serious planning.
All right, theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through a quick blueprint to see how an event might actually travel in this neighborhood hub model, especially when you're dealing with multiple clouds.
Okay, so let's follow a piece of data on its journey. First, an event is born. Let's say a price gets updated in your catalog domain, which lives over on Cloud A. That event gets published to its local catalog bus. Simple enough. But then a special little service called a bridge is listening. It sees this event and it knows, hey, the search domain needs to know about this price change, but the search domain lives on Cloud B. So this bridge acts like a smart shuttle service. It picks up the event, forwards it across the cloud boundary, and delivers it right onto the search bus in the other cloud. And just like that, the event has successfully traveled between neighborhoods and clouds, all without ever creating a central traffic jam.
So, we've laid out the two main roads you can take, the single superhighway and the network of efficient local streets. Now let's bring it all back to you, the architect. How in the world do you choose which path is right for you?
To make it a little easier, think of this as your architect's cheat sheet. The Grand Central model, it's really best for simplicity. Think startups or companies with a single centralized dev team. Its biggest risk is that scary single point of failure, but the key benefit is total control and visibility. The Neighborhood Hub model, on the other hand, is built for large-scale operations, for companies with autonomous teams that need to move fast, and for systems where failure is just not an option. The risk is that added complexity, but the payoff is incredible scalability and team agility.
And this is probably the most important takeaway of all. There is no single right answer here. Anyone who tells you one is always better than the other is selling you something. The best architecture is always the one that fits your specific situation. How is your company structured? How big are your teams? What are your business goals for the next 3 to 5 years? The answer is in your organization's DNA, not just in a textbook.
So, I'll leave you with this one final question to really chew on. As you're making this decision, ask yourself this. Are you building an architecture for the company you are today, or are you building it for the company you want to become? Because the answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.